What's going on, everyone? Steven here, and today I'm going to be talking about using Vegas Pro to create a video worthy of 1080p goodness on YouTube. Now, unfortunately, you can't just create an uncompressed video, which would be a super humongous file. You can't just create that and give it to YouTube and then expect YouTube to give you a great quality 1080p video as a result on the site. They have some specific requirements for you, recommendations, if you will, to create a video to give them that gives them the best stuff to work with based on when they get your file that you upload to them, they render it again. So what you upload to YouTube isn't what you see once it finishes uploading because YouTube re-renders your video. All right. So with that said, all the things I'm going to discuss should work in Sony Vegas 12 and 11 and perhaps earlier versions, but I started using it with version 11 and most of this is the same. So to start, let's check out YouTube's page here for advanced encoding settings. We're not going to go through any of this stuff. I just want to let you know that the majority of the stuff I'm going to be talking about is based on this, on their recommendations. All right. And, that's just, I want you to know that we're not playing guesswork here. This is based on their recommendations as well as things that I have verified through all the time I've spent as a Vegas user and a YouTuber and whatever else. All right. So this is good information, you guys. You're getting solid, updated information. All right. So first of all, let's go ahead and start with our project settings. So if you go to File and Properties, it'll bring up a Project Properties window here. And what we're going to do is create a Project Properties thing that we can save and start all of our new projects from here on out with these settings. And you can create as many of these templates as you want. I tend to pretty much just keep one because I'm always uploading the same resolution to YouTube for videos. So basically right here in your template, go ahead and select, let's see, let's pick one. Let's do this HD 1080 60i. Okay. Let's go ahead and select that one. Now that we've got this, we can modify it and save it to our own template. All right. So the first thing that we want to do is change the name of this to whatever you want. Let's change it to a new template. All right. You can go ahead and save that now. This template is identical to this one. Do you want to save it anyway? Yeah, let's do it. All right. So now if you were to come in here and open a new project and select a template for that project to be based on, it would show up here. All right, so new template. All right, the first thing we want to change is this upper field first. You want that to be on none and progressive. All right, that's based on what YouTube said for us in that advanced encoding settings page right here, progressive. Okay, keep this the same at 1. Keep this at 0 degrees original. Keep this the same, 29.970 NTSC. 3D off, pixel format, 8-bit. Don't worry about these, okay? We are making this for YouTube, and therefore none of these other things are applicable because it'll re-encode your video and actually produce worse things sometimes if you try to use like the video levels 32-bit floating point, which essentially just to explain it to you really quickly, if you have something like, let's say, a gradient, okay? So on the left side, imagine on the left side of your computer screen is a dark blue, and on the right side is a much lighter shade of blue, all right? And as you go from the left side to the right side of the screen, that color of blue smoothly fades into the other color, all right? So you start on the left-hand side, you got dark blue. It gets a little bit lighter, 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 all the way over a nice, smooth, grayed looking, shade of blue stuff. All right, so if you were to render that in 8-bit, sometimes you'll get these banding in your gradients, and it won't look like a smooth color grade or a smooth transition. So if you know, had an HD video that you were presenting somewhere and you needed that gradient to look perfect, then you could try the 32-bit floating point stuff. If all that's over your head and it doesn't matter, cool. If you get it, cool. You probably already knew it. Sorry if I'm telling you stuff you already know, but I just wanted to cover that. Okay, onward. Compositing gamma, keep that at 2.222222. All right, you shouldn't be able to change it anyway. Same with view transform, keep that off. Full resolution rendering quality. If that's not at best, set it to best. All right, motion blur type, just keep that at Gaussian. Deinterlace method, keep it at interpolate fields. If it's not on it, you can set it. This isn't going to matter for you most likely. You could set this to none, especially if you're doing video game videos and stuff like that. Um, there are more methods for deinterlacing, and there's a lot of jibba jabba in the video editing community about how these two are just, there's much better ones. Just say interpolate. If you don't know what these are, then most likely if you need one, that's going to be the one that's going to produce the best results for you. All right. So um, at the same time, if you render a video and you get some weird blurring or some weird stuff going on, just remember your deinterlace method. Try setting it to none and see if that helps with what you're doing, maybe. All right. But I just keep it on this and everything's fine. Okay, adjust source media to better match project or render settings. I keep this checked. You can uncheck it. This basically means if, this video I have right now, this is a 1080p video, but let's say I bring in a 720p video or whatever, and, it's a lower screen size. This will stretch that smaller video to 1920 by 1080 by my project settings. All right. That could be bad for you. It could not matter. I keep it checked because most of the time when I have stuff like that, I'm going to be stretching it full screen anyway. Um, so yeah, be cognizant of that. If you have some weird stuff where you're like, why the crap is my 720p video rendering in this weird looking resolution, then it might be because you have your project settings, you have your 1080p template selected for your project, but you're using 720p video. So you can get some weird stuff like that. Keep that in mind. You can change this location to whatever you want. Start all new projects with these settings, apply. And then you can save the name to whatever you want, right? So new template was the one that I think we created in here, and I had that other one. But yeah, so these are all the settings that you want to have for your project. Now audio, select stereo. Number of stereo buses, you can keep that at 0 unless you are working with audio and you have multiple tracks in here that you're going to be doing stuff with. Don't even worry about that, all right? Sample hertz, keep it at 48,000. The human ear can't distinguish much beyond, I think it's 50 or 60,000 hertz. This is an industry standard. Just keep it at that. You're good to go. Bit depth 16, you can keep that like it is. Resample and stretch quality, set that to best. All right. I can't do anything with this, so that's grayed out. You can change this location if you want. All right. Ruler, I don't do anything crazy with audio editing, with music or anything like that outside of normal little cut and paste and volume, loudness, and whatever. So don't worry about any of this. Summary, you can put some stuff here it's like metadata for your video. If someone right clicks on your video and they say properties, like if you rendered this video and sent that directly to someone, then they could right click on the video and get all these properties. So that's what that is. Audio CD, don't even worry about that. All right, and then once you've changed all of this stuff, you can say save. I'm not going to overwrite it or whatever. I'm actually going to delete it. And so, you can have that checked and say apply after that. All right, and then that's it. I'm going to delete that template because I'm not going to use it. I'm going to delete this one as well. This is how you delete templates. I'm showing you how you can delete those as well. My Sneaky Mofo 1080p, this is the one I always have and use. All right, it's set up all the ways that we just did. So that's that. That's your project properties. Once you're done with that, you're good to go. Now we want to set our render settings. So this is whenever we're ready to export our video. All right, we'll be rendering it. First things first, if you're playing along here, you will not see render as show up as an option for you if you don't have a video here in your timeline. All right, so grab a video clip, throw it in, and bam, then you can render as. All right, I always do view all options down here, so if yours looks like this and you don't see all the stuff, this is what I do. Okay, here you can go ahead and change the name of your render to whatever you want it to be. And then what we're going to do is I want you to go to the main concept AVC, all right? And click that and look for Internet HD 1080p, all right? And click Customize Template. Change the name of this to something and then save it. Overwrite existing template, yeah. All right. So now we are working on our own custom template that we're setting up here for YouTube. This is just notes. You can change it to whatever you want, JKLSim. And then, yeah. Include video, keep that checked, because if you uncheck it, then when you go to render your video, you'll see a black screen and you'll hear the audio, and that's it. So definitely want to have include video checked. Frame size, you can keep it at this, or you can say custom frame size, but 1920 by 1080 is what we want, so either one is fine. Allow source to adjust frame size. Keep that unchecked. All right. Profile, you want to set that to high. And here you go, high profile. Remember progressive scanning earlier, which we're going to look at here in a second. All right. As well as variable bit rate. We're going to be seeing that in just a second here. So profile high, frame rate, we want this one. Allow source to adjust frame rate. All right, yep. You want to check that. Field order, none, progressive, that's what we want. Pixel aspect ratio 1. Some of this stuff is what we set in our project settings, okay? Number of reference frames 2. You can use deblocking filter if you want. I don't think it matters for YouTube quality. I've tried rendering with and without this, and it doesn't really matter. All right, so check it or not. It's up to you totally. Variable bit rate, you want that selected. 2-pass, don't worry about 2-pass. 2-pass will make it take forever for your videos to render. We don't need to do 2-pass because we already know what we want to have our average and maximum bit rate at, because YouTube tells us here, 1080p, 50,000 kbps, which would be, let's go to Google, or let's see, 50,000 kbps to bps. All right, so 51 million bits per second. All right, so here, what we like to do, or what I like to do rather, is I'll set 50 million as the average BPS, okay? And then for a maximum BPS, I go the next step higher, 135 million. All right. Now, oh, why did that change to that? I must have hit the mouse wheel or something. 50,000. There we go. Okay. So there's some debate as to how high of a quality you can go that YouTube just ignores. But they give us that little maximum down there. Where's that at? Here, yeah. They give us this, right? And so that's the video bitrate. I like to make that the average. So this should theoretically be on the low end of quality. We want that to be the average. And then I go up to this much, which from what I've seen, what other people have said, this is way above what YouTube has for their maximum. All right. So this will give you a slightly larger file than if you had chosen 50 million for this one as well. I like that little bit of quality integrity kept for it. So that's just me. Number of slices, you can keep that to 1. It doesn't matter. You could have it to 8 bajillion if you want. This isn't relevant to us for what we're doing. In code mode, I do render using Cuba Gooding Jr. I don't know how to pronounce it, whatever, CUDA. That'll use your graphics card to render the video instead of your central processing unit. All right. So if you don't have a great graphics card, or if the program can't use your graphics card to render it, then you can render using CPU. And that is what it is. It'll take however long it takes to do that. All right. So enable progressive download. That doesn't matter for us. You can keep it checked or unchecked. It's just whatevs with YouTube. Audio. All right. Do you want to include audio? I want to include audio. Sample rate 48,000 hertz. Remember what I was saying about the human ear distinguishing blah blah blah. Just keep it at 48,000. You're good to go. Bit rate. All right. 384,000 if you want stereo, high quality, stereo audio. All right, 384. So that's set to that. Good to go there. System. Check GPU. This is where you can see if the Cuba Gooding Jr. is available for you to use with your encoding. All right. So I'm good to go. So that'll work for me. Project. All right. Video rendering quality. Set that to best. Stereoscopic, whatever it is, 3D mode. We're not using 3D. So use project settings, and in the project settings, we have it set to nil. So no worries there. Color space, I have no idea what any of this means. I've never researched it. I probably should just to see, but it hasn't mattered. So that's probably why I haven't. I keep that at default. Then you can save this template. Save it. All right. And then OK. And once you've created your template, it'll show up here at the bottom. And what I like to do after I've created my template, which you see here, is I just click the little star. And then after that, I check this box. All right. Now I'm going to go back in and delete this ASDF because I'm not going to use it. All right. X that out. Bam. Now, what this does, let's just pretend this is the one I just created, even though this is the one I always use. It's the same thing. All right. Now, anytime I go to render as, even if I have this view all options gone, right, I have my favorite one showing up. This is the only one I see out of all the options. If I need to go back and try other stuff for any reason, it's all there. But for now, keep it on my favorite. All right. Just rename your your video to whatever you want it there if you want to. And you've got your template selected, and then boom, you'd say render. And that's pretty much it. All right. That's how I get my videos up. That's basically utilizing the things that YouTube says, okay, do this and you'll get the best looking video quality on our site. Okay. One last thing I want to cover. If you are familiar with these, maybe you're watching this video because it's an updated version of this, or you've seen some other ones along the way to here, then you may have run into where people say to go in and edit your levels to be computer RGB to studio RGB. All right. That used to be what you would want to do with YouTube because it used to really darken videos that you didn't convert to studio RGB. And I'm not going to go through what all that means right now, but just watch this here. And, I'm uploading this to YouTube, so I have no idea if it's going to tweak this out to where you're not going to be able to see the difference. But when I uncheck levels here, bam, lighter, washed out, colorful, washed out colors. All right. There's a reason for that. You don't have to worry about it. Don't worry about using video effects. You don't need them. YouTube does a good enough job. Now, there may be some videos where, you're in a dungeon for the whole video, or you're outside on the mountains and it's just bright sun. Maybe you'll need to tweak with some color adjustments or something like that. You know, Sometimes you have to upload a couple of times to YouTube. Um, don't render your whole video, render like a small portion of it, upload that to YouTube as a private video or unlisted, wait for it to finish its encoding on YouTube, and then see how it looks in 1080p or whatever, right? That's just a quick way for you to test to see how your stuff's going to look before you put it out there for all the world to see. All right. So that's pretty much it. I really hope this video has helped you. One last thing I want to mention is this here. Your quality in your preview window here, if you're not very familiar with Vegas, you can set this to best, full. That will show you a preview of exactly what your video is going to look like. It just uses more of your resources to show a high preview, right? So the reason I'm saying that is because if you've got it on preview auto or good half or whatever, it's not going to look, you'll probably see this and be like, what the crap? Why does my video look so bad? That is not indicative of how your final video is going to look. All right. So I just wanted to say that if that's applicable for you. But anyway, yeah, thanks for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you liked this video. If you want to see me do some more stuff with Vegas, some more tutorials or whatever, I would love to get into doing that. I love video editing. It's like one of my favorite hobbies right now, and I just keep learning and learning. So anyway, let me know what you think, and I'll be back soon with another video related to Vegas or some other program. I use Camtasia a lot as well, and I use Digital Juice. So if you're familiar with any of those or whatever and you want to see something, feel free to let me know. Ask some questions. I'll try to get to them in the comments. And yeah, thanks again. Talk to you in the next video. Take care.